This is the Al Sensei English Podcast. Activate. Motivate. Accelerate.
Take the beat to the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the English 2.0 podcast. My name is Al. Thanks for joining me today. For today's main point, I'm going to teach you the most powerful tool to help you learn English. So please keep watching for that. But first of all, I just wanted to tell you about a little video I've just made, a video lesson. And it's a pronunciation lesson. And it's how to master the L sound and R sound in English. Okay, so if you have trouble hearing or speaking words like lane and rain or lice and rice, please check out that video. Now, to me, this is a really tough thing for students learning English. So I've decided to make this video only for those who really want it, okay? Those who are really serious about their English improvement. So, this video is not available anywhere online, okay, except on my website. It's completely free, but you have to go to my website, alsensei.com, and on the right side of the page, you'll see kind of a green box with a purple arrow, and just fill in your name, your first name or nickname, and your email address, and I'll email the link to you, and you can download that video. Okay, so please check that out. It's a great video. L and R, you can master it in 6 minutes. Okay, I'll teach you how to do that. So please check that out. Alright, so let's get started today with a question from Twitter. Alright, let's start with a question from Twitter, and it comes from a follower named Yui Mariu. And it's in response to a Twitter quiz I held a little while ago. And the quiz was regarding permission. So for example, if someone asks the question, may I open the window? How do you respond? Okay, so I think most people know to respond, oh sure, go ahead, or yes, please, go ahead. Now the question I was asking more specifically was, do you mind? Okay, so do you mind if I open the window? Okay. Now the answer of course still is, oh sure, go ahead. Or no, not at all, please, go ahead. Something like that is fine. But the question is, how about if we don't want them to do that? If we don't want the person to open the window, what should we say? What's a polite thing to say? And in other words, how do we refuse giving permission? Alright, great question. Again, there are many ways you can do that. One, the common way to tell someone, I think, would just be to say, I'm sorry, or I'm afraid, and then give your reason. Okay, so for example, in the case of, do you mind if I open the window? A common way to refuse would be to say, I'd rather you didn't. Okay? I'd rather you didn't. And that's a very polite way to refuse permission. Now also it's a good idea to add a reason, and you could say, I'm sorry, or I'm afraid. So say, for example, do you mind if I open the window? I'm afraid I'm a little bit cold, so I'd rather you didn't. Okay? That'd be a very natural way to refuse. Now, some people are asking about, can I say, yes, I mind? Okay? Do you mind if I open the window? Yes, I mind. Okay? Well, technically, of course, that sends a message that you don't want them to do that. However, in most cases, it is a little bit direct, a little bit strong. So, of course, if you want to deliver that strong message, of course, you can say, yes, I mind. But it is a little bit can be a little bit rude because it is strong. So please try. I'd rather you didn't, and give a reason. I'm sorry, but it's a little bit cold, or something like that, okay? And that's how you can refuse permission politely. Great question, thank you. By the way, if you have a question on Twitter, please tweet it to me at @alsensei. I'd be happy to get back to you on that, so thank you. Alright, today in the main point, we're going to talk about the most powerful tool to help you learn English and to speak English well. So, I bet you're wondering what that secret tool is. Well, the tool, of course, is the most powerful, but also can be the most destructive if you're not careful. So you have to be really careful with how you use this tool, but if you use it properly, it can be the most powerful thing to help you with your English. So what is the tool? The most powerful tool to help you learn English is habits. Habits, okay? So everyone has this tool inside of them. That's the good news. However, there are good habits and there are bad habits. So let me explain. A simple explanation is when you talk about health, for example, we talk about good habits. For example, eating healthy food, going to the gym, exercising, maybe you jog every day. That's a good habit. Those are good habits. Yeah. Now, bad habits, of course, we usually consider smoking a bad habit. We consider probably eating late at night is a bad habit. Things like that are destructive to your health. So again, habits are things that we do regularly, sometimes without even thinking. Okay, so how does this relate to English? Okay, well, actually it relates to almost any topic, but let's talk about English. I'd like to talk about 2 points, okay, 2 types of habits. The first type is speaking habits. Alright, let's talk about it. When I do my lessons, I hear a lot of students making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Even if I or another teacher points out the mistake and corrects them. Well, what's the reason for this? Well, to me the answer is very simple. It's just that student has developed some bad speaking habits. For example, the sentence, this weekend I will go to shopping. Okay? That's a very common mistake that I hear in my lessons. Regardless of level, okay? So it's not about level. Low level, high level, all students tend to make this kind of simple mistake. So, it's not a matter of knowing. I think everybody knows that it's, not correct grammar to say, I will go to shopping. Of course, the correct grammatical sentence is, I will go shopping this weekend. So, why do people continue to make that mistake? Well, it's just something that was developed probably several years ago, maybe going back to when you first started learning, but you've just continued to make this mistake, perhaps without any correction or without any effort to change that. And so that has developed into a bad speaking habit. And as we know, like smoking, it's a very hard thing to break. And that's one of the challenges, first of all, is learn how to break these bad habits. Now let's talk about number 2, which is study habits. Study habits are how you study when you are not in class. Okay? And so this requires a lot of discipline, as we say. Discipline is basically your self-management. So doing what you plan to do. So for example, if you plan to study for 1 hour, do you actually carry through with that? Or do you watch TV or do something else? Okay, so study habits are very important because they keep you on track. All right. So for example, if you don't have a habit, a good study habit, you say, okay, I'm going to study tomorrow night for 1 hour, chances are you could be distracted by something else. Maybe you realize that TV show is on that you want to watch, or your friend might call you and ask you to meet them for coffee, or something like that will interrupt. Now, if you or you just may forget. So, if you develop a habit, you do a little bit regularly every day, you're more likely to do it. You won't forget it, and you'll start to prioritize it. And that's really the key to rapid improvement. All right, so if we have bad habits, if we know we have built up some bad habits, how do we break them? Okay. Well, the easy thing to do is build good habits. Okay? I shouldn't say it's easy because it is a bit tough, but the concept is easy. So build good habits. All right, so let's use our examples. I will go to shopping. To break that, you basically have to practice speaking the grammatically correct sentence. I will go shopping. Okay? And you've got to practice that a lot and every day, because it's not only your brain that has built that bad habit, it is your mouth and your tongue that has built that bad habit as well. You have to train your mouth to break that habit as well and build the new one. So your action plan is find 5 of these simple grammar mistakes that you're making, and practice the correct sentence for those. Okay, write them down if you need to, but just practice speaking them every day. Now, I've studied and learned that it takes about 21 days to build a good habit. So if you do it every day for 21 days, it's about 3 weeks, you can build that new habit. So do that. That's your action plan. Find 5 of those simple grammatical mistakes. Make a sentence for each of them, like I will go shopping, and just practice them every day for 21 days. Practice them. You don't have to practice that long. Just 5 minutes a day is enough. Okay? So do that, and I promise you will see very quick improvement. Habits, they're the most powerful tool to learn anything, but for us, the most powerful tool to help you learn English. Good luck. Alright, in today's pronunciation point, we're going to talk about the difference between bath and bus. Okay? Bath, perhaps ofuro, and bus, a method of transportation. So, what's the difference in the pronunciation between bath and bus? Okay, well, there are 2 main points we want to focus on. So number 1, of course, is the vowel sound. Okay, for example, in bath, the A sound. So the first thing to remember is, a lot of students in Japanese, because of katakana, will kind of translate that sound into ah. So, as we've seen written in katakana, bus or bus, So we have to really get out of that way of thinking, get out of that mindset, and we have to start really thinking now in English, okay, and start pronouncing in English to really get the natural sound. So the A sound in bath is what I call the flat A sound, and that is a sound where you keep your mouth very flat and you say ah, okay, like apple, cat, okay, map, camp. Okay, these words use that flat A sound, okay? So the same thing in bath. So if you can really hear that, try to pronounce that clearly. Bath, okay? Ah, bath, okay? Now let's take a look at bus, okay? Now again, neither of these words use that kind of ah sound like we find in the word father, or the katakana version. So in bus, that's what we call that schwa sound. So it's like, in fact, for native English speakers, it's the most natural sound that we can make when we open our mouth. Okay, so that's when you hear people when they're thinking, we often say well, okay, that sound, the sound. Okay, because it's just a natural sound that we make. So really try to hear that, try to pronounce that. Okay, so when we do bus, it's that same sound. Bus. Okay, so if you say a bus, it should be the same sound. A bus. Okay. About. Okay, so that in about is also the same sound. About a bus. Okay, you can practice those words together. Same sound. Okay. A bus. Okay. So let's compare now. Bath, bus. Okay. Point number 2 is of course, the TH and S sounds. So for bus, of course, we'll use the S, and I think most of you can do that already, so no big challenge there. Bus. Okay, now with bath, that's when we need to pronounce that TH. Okay? Now for the TH, the trick really is just stick out your tongue. Okay? And put it under your front 2 teeth, like this, and then just blow air. Okay, so really stick out that tongue. Bath, bath, bus, bus. Okay, for the S, my tongue stays inside, but I still blow out. Okay, bus, bath, bus. All right. So let's make a natural sentence. Okay? So tonight, I'm going to take a bath. Okay, one more time. Tonight, I'm going to take a bath. Alright, let's try another sentence. The train was late, so I took a bus. The train was late, so I took a bus. Alright, so they're just some natural sentences for you. So please practice that pronunciation, bath and bus. Again, just takes a lot of practice. Work that mouth muscle, practice that TH, and you can do it. Alright, well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And as usual, if you have any questions or comments, you can reach me at ask@alsensei.com or follow me on Twitter @alsensei, and I'll follow you back. We can start a conversation there. And if you're interested in group lessons, please check out Departures at departures-scene.co.jp, and we'd love to have you for that. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching today. So keep practicing, good luck, and we'll see you next time.